My name is Jessica Villarreal. I'm a Army combat veteran, former VA employee, and a caregiver to a Marine Corps combat veteran. When I see those names on the wall, it ignites a fire in me. It empowers me to want to advocate even more so for my fellow veteran brothers and sisters. So at the VA as an employee, what I commonly saw was the dismissiveness of veterans. We put our lives on the line. I mean, we're not asking for much. I had just turned 17 years old and then left to boot camp in September of 2004. I wanted to do something more with myself and my life, and giving back to my country was the way to do it. When you get out of active duty, the transition can be very difficult. I struggled immensely. I can remember walking into the old clinic. It was very small, very congested. You see the clerks there checking people in. Then you saw a bunch of chairs and it's full. Then you saw the line of where it started and where it would wrap around to get checked into your appointments. It could feel very uninviting, very uncomfortable because you don't know what to do, you don't know where to go. I felt very unwelcomed, like I didn't matter, just dismissed as a person. It's trauma after trauma after trauma after trauma. Every time I go into the parking lot, I get anxiety. What am I gonna encounter this time? Am I gonna find a battle because I need X, Y, and Z and I'm not gonna be able to get it this time around? You know, it's just it's a lot of anxiety that you feel. A lot of veterans, they feel very uncomfortable. I wanted to be a case manager at the VA so I could provide other veterans with a person that they could relate to. I was very excited because that was my dream job. I got my master's degree because my whole goal was to work for the VA, to provide a service to veterans, to be that person the veterans could go and feel like, oh, Jessica's relatable because she's been through it just like we have, and she's married to somebody who's been through it too. You know, I had that unique perspective that many didn't have. So as a social worker, I was so excited to share my experience with others so that they could see that it's possible to be successful in life even through adversities and hardships and traumas. But I know I had an impact. And it was a wonderful experience. My very first note or compliment from a patient, they wanted to alert the director and told them that day that they were giving the VA one more chance because that day they had planned to kill themselves depending on the experience they were going to have. And they said that I provided them the opportunity to change their view on the VA. And because they had the encounter that they had with me, they changed their mind about taking their own life that day. And I would go on throughout my career, the 3 years that I spent there, having several of those encounters where I get letters like that. It's a numbers game at the VA. I was getting told from my leadership that, hey, you need to see more patients, and this is how essentially you can do it to get those numbers met, which is inadequate care to me. It should be get what they need and that's it. I was essentially bullied out of the VA. I was being targeted, being harassed, being intimidated. People were using their authority over me. People were nitpicking at me to the point where I would come home crying a lot. They made it very difficult for me. I'm crying because I'm sad that I had to leave. Right now at Concerned Veterans for America, I am a grassroots engagement director here in McAllen, Texas. Ben, which is now my boss, invited me to speak to my local congressman. That's how I learned about CVA.
Not only do I respect Jessica as a veteran, but I see her more as a little sister. The things that she's been through, the relationship she has with the VA, the relationship she has with her husband, who is also a Marine, so I can relate to even more. They're just a great family. And the things that they're doing here in the Valley, the things they were doing before trying to help veterans, has always been amazing.
And I'm not afraid to talk and to speak out, just making a greater impact on veteran issues as a whole. God gave me a sassy personality for a reason, and it's not to sit behind a desk, but to speak out for people.
Our whole work at CVA is finding common sense solutions and changing policy. We realize that if we don't change the policies that are affecting every veteran across this country, we're never going to change what's happening with them. So we just want to make sure that everybody has the same opportunity, right? We fought for that freedom. Why can't we get the same thing?
Helping veterans is my passion. I love what I do. All my experiences have made me who I am today, and these experiences that have not been so great have ignited a fire within me. The least we can do is get out there and be a voice for veterans.